Hello everybody, welcome back to another hopefully very exciting video here on my channel. In today's video we are actually at the drag strip. We have two vehicles today. I am driving the 06 TBSS or Trailblazer SS, and then my husband or Josh is going to be driving our 2016 ATS-V. I'm going to try and set a personal best for the TBSS because one, I'm lighter, two, it's colder than the last time we took it out, and three, we also got rid of some of the seats inside. Also, we will be trying to record. I will have the GoPro because I'm not going to record with my camera that I'm using right now. And my husband will be using the PDR that's built into the ATS-V. So hopefully this video goes really good. I'm very excited and it's the last race of the season. So when I say that I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a lot nervous actually. Technically won mine, even though this was just the where you're practicing like your first runs, and both of us red lit. This TBSS is a lot different than my truck because I need a new torque converter, so it's like no matter what, even if I leave on the last bulb, it's 0.4 reaction time, and this one was negative 0.021 and he had negative 0.024, and then my top mile an hour was 91.97 and it was a 13.67 that we ran, and I ended up winning even though he was a 13.1, but because he red lit too and it was more. And then Josh actually, he got to almost the 8th mile and then the V kind of went in limp mode. He did accidentally delete that from the PDR, which kind of sucks. He did a 13.729, but it was launching so hard that when he launched, all the fuel went too far back, so it put him in limp mode. We're gonna go round 2, see if this is better, leaving the tree. First one, I had a 13.675. I had a 13.66 this time. My reaction on the tree was in the positive. It was a 0.385, so not the best, however, not that bad. But I had this bad problem, and I used to do this in like softball. Instead of swinging all the way through, I would just like swing until I hit the ball and then stop. I seen the scoreboard and I stopped. Well, I didn't stop, I let out. It's not what you're supposed to do. We did put 13.60 on both the Trailblazer and the V. The V again went in limp mode, so we put some alcohol in it to see if maybe it will take the percentage down, because apparently with E85, as Josh is making a lot of noise, forgot, he's been having a heck of a night with the V, just in general, of like either not so much keeping traction at this, that isn't the actual problem, but it's just the not going into limp mode probably around the 8th mile. But he also had trouble because the first PDR he recorded, or the first race he recorded with the PDR, and then he accidentally deleted. This one apparently it didn't record. Like, he's just having a lot of trouble. However, I'm doing really good. I won technically both of my races, but they were also not really races, so that is what it is. I'm very excited and very nervous for my first ever true elimination, but TBSS. It's pretty good, so we'll see what happens. Alright, potentially both my and Josh's last run of the night. First round of eliminations. This is my first ever elimination, so we'll see how I do. More so the TBSS. A little bit later because it's very busy. Runs are going on. Some people, one person in particular, is still in, but I will update you guys later and maybe just when we're at home. Alright everybody, I'm gonna come on here, do a little update about last night and what we ran, how well we maybe did or potentially didn't do. Also, I'm sitting in the wagon because we just went back to Thornhill because they had a car show to basically kind of cover the cost of the flood and stuff that happened earlier this year, so it was $10 to get in. But however, let's start real quick with the V. So the first two passes, the test passes basically, Josh was having a hard time because around the 8th mile, it just kept falling flat on its face. Actually, it went in limp mode. It wasn't falling flat on its face. It went in limp mode and then it was doing like a countdown in a way, like, oh, this is your top mile that you can drive. Those first two passes, he had a 13.729 at 70.56 miles per hour, and then the second pass was a 13.638 at 67.18, and that one he actually had to coast to the finish line. So that one was really bad too. However, then he found out because it was full E85, if he mixed a little bit of race fuel, he was experimenting last night and it solved it. And of course it was the first elimination, so he got eliminated because he broke out by, I don't know, it was like almost 2 whole seconds. It ran an 11.249 at 125.09 miles. So the V is about 11.2. He did a personal best on that one, which is great. It was the first and only pass he's ever done on a track with that car where it has ran perfect the entire time. I'm glad we finally fixed it, or he fixed it actually. And then we have the TBSS, which my first one, my reaction time was terrible. I red lit technically, but it was a test pass. So I did end up winning that one because the guy red lit as well, but it was worse than I did. And I did a 13.675 at 91.97 miles per hour. That was my top mile per hour that night because as soon as I seen the scoreboards, I just let out and coasted, which is a very bad habit and it's not something you're supposed to do. However, I won that one barely as well at a 13.666 at 78.65 miles an hour. And then came my first and only round of elimination and I knew I was going to lose it. I got right against a actual drag built car and as soon as I seen him, I was like, I'm just going for it. I also broke out because Josh put on there 13.60 because since I was doing 13.67 and 13.66, he was thinking I would maybe stay in the 13.6s. However, because I coasted, I was kind of wondering if I would be in the 5s and I did a personal best for the TBSS at 13.5 513 at 82.23 miles an hour. I had a lot of fun last night, and even though we didn't go past the first round of elimination, both of our cars, we got home safely. Both of them were not broke. We had a fun time. We at least got to solve the V's problem, for now at least, and we just had a lot of fun. So next year, I think this is maybe going to be a regular thing. I think I'm going to try and get better at recording, being more up to date, not being so shy, because at the drag strip, I'm very shy about recording, and I think I'm going to try and get better, definitely. So I hope you guys all enjoy this video. Be sure to follow along if you want to see, definitely next year, but any other vehicle content. I always do car shows, videos, and like cruise-ins and other things like that, and sometimes we just take our personal vehicles out and go take photos or go do car washes or just random things that we like to do with them. So if you want to be a part of my YouTube community, definitely subscribe, keep up with it, and stay tuned for any future videos. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you on another video here on my channel, and as always, God bless.